Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is Andrew David. This is the daily high performance call with Blake Newbar's team, talking about finally living up to yourself and overcoming challenges. Talking this month about going out and experiencing life anew. Yesterday, I spoke about The Way, the movie with Martin Sheen in it that includes the Camino de Santiago. Some of you guys went out and watched that, or you watched Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I haven't had a chance to watch the original. I will be this weekend. That's the goal. But finding a way. So, David, I think you're in that group, but I'll get you guys if someone can drop the Skype link in there. And then if you want to email me afterwards, I can get it to you. But
Andrew, that second movie is on YouTube, by the way.
Secret Life of, Walter Mitty, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great flick. I saw it in the theater the first time, and it blew my mind. So anyway, what I want to talk about, as you're going through and we're challenging ourselves, new experiences. There's going to be a little bit of obstacles here and there. There's going to be things. But there's going to be those moments where you decide you're not going to do it, where you want to give up on it, where you don't want to move forward, because that's why they're still sitting on the bucket list. That's why there's still things you haven't done yet. There's some kind of fear, there's some kind of nervousness about it, and it's time you overcome that. Now, I want to tell you the story. How many of you guys have seen the movie Roxanne from 1987, Steve Martin? Most of you should. Come on. I mean, this is the crowd. I get Edwin's kind of shaking his head, and if Marie's on here, maybe she hasn't. Most of you guys, let's be real. 1987, Steve Martin. Go watch the movie. It's a remake of Cyrano de Bergerac, right? This play from many moons ago, where a gentleman with a large nose, like Pinocchio style. In the original play, what happens is Cyrano is eloquent and elegant and intelligent, and he's wittier than everybody else, and he's smarter, and he's a great guy, but he's got a bit of a problem when it comes to romance and really just socially interacting with people. His nose is quite large, and not like just a little bit of rhinoplasty. The dude's sporting something ridiculous. Well, so in the play, Cyrano goes out and tries to woo, romance the lady. That's not working out for him. So he does it vicariously through someone else, feeding the guy the words. He falls in love, but really the woman's falling in love with Cyrano and his words and his personality and everything else. So great original play. Steve Martin decides that, he had fallen in love with it. He said when he was a kid, decided he wanted to rewrite it. He wanted to make it into a movie. And so he went to a couple of people and they said, no, I don't want to write it. I don't want to write it. Well, what he does is he decides that he's going to write it. Now, Martin at this time was already a famous actor. He was a great stand-up comedian. He'd been on Saturday Night Live. He'd done all of these other things. He was well-known in Hollywood. So he sat down to write. He wrote on a typewriter, right, and yellow paper. And when he had to copy and paste, he would cut out and copy and paste and mark things out. So he went through it, and between that and taking it to studios and editing, he had to edit more than 25 times in order to get that final play written. It took years. And now looking back, many people, and he has written others, but this still is typically held up as one of the best things that he's ever done. And guys, it took years of his life, 26 rewrites, 25 rewrites, all of these different things to get to the point where he could have that film done and then launched. And then during that, there were still moments where he kind of doubted himself. He wasn't sure, everything was in line. He's 3 days out from shooting, and he says that he still wasn't totally sure how he was going to play the character, how he was going to bring him to life on the screen. And he had to play around with things. Guys, it doesn't happen right away. If some of you guys are concerned with figuring this out, or you haven't done it yet, look at this gentleman who is successful. This is what he did. He wrote comedies. He was an actor. He was in the industry, and it still took him 26 different times to rewrite this to finally get it right and get it sold so that he could get it made. How many of you guys have heard the story of Howard Schultz and Starbucks? Okay. Some of you guys hear that name, you should already know what I'm going to be talking about, right? Howard Schultz worked in the coffee industry for a while, and then he started. He was selling different things, and I can't remember exactly what he was selling, if it was the equipment or the goods when it came to coffee. But found a location in Seattle area. Ends up working for them, builds it up. They're becoming a little more successful. He goes to Italy and says, we've got to do this, and we've got to change that, and we've got to make it like this, because he saw all these little coffee shops on the corners. He comes back, and the guy's, no, we don't want to do that. He ends up buying Starbucks, but in order to buy it, he had to get the money, right? Because he had this vision, he had this idea, Starbucks everywhere. Anybody know how many times going out and seeking the money to buy this, how many times was he turned down? How many no's did he get? 250, almost. So he asked about 240 something, and then ended up getting, of those 240, 200, over 210, 212, somewhere in there. People said no, 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 over 200 times. And now he's a billionaire. And now Starbucks is a cultural icon everywhere in the world. And now they're everywhere, and the man's a billionaire. No, 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 over 200 times. Then here you are, and you get frustrated because a domain doesn't connect the right way, because you write out a headline and it doesn't quite hit, right? I think in the last 3 weeks, I've had my ad account disabled 4 times. I've had multiple ads that didn't run right. I had to go in and restart things. I had to re-verify my ID. I'm like, Facebook has more pictures of my ID right now than the IRS does, for crying out loud. It's ridiculous. And yet you keep going. You keep moving forward. And you got to be patient with yourselves, guys. Here's what you need to do. Okay. Yep. Find it useful to keep my mood on the bright side. Here's how you do that, though. You become clear on what you want. Ultimate clarity. This is what I want. This is why I want it. This is why I'm going after it. This is what that means. This is what I'm willing to do. Then you commit to it, right? Clarity and commitment. I'm going to commit to doing this and keep doing it over and over and over. And then we have the courage. I'm going to act, even though I'm scared, even though I don't know if this is going to be good. I'm not going to worry about what other people are going to say. I'm more worried about myself, and I'm going to respect myself enough to know that I can make this work. Damn it. I can make it happen because I am fully capable of making it happen. I may not have the skills right now. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to learn them, because I am. And where I can't, I'm going to find the help to supplement what I need to do. 6 years ago, I can't tell you how many times I called Jason nearly in tears, talking about building the business, talking about my family life, talking about, overcoming obstacles, and needing him to, he acted as a friend, as a mentor, as a coach, and walked me through so much. And here I get off the phone with him, and we're talking about working together on another project that could affect legitimately families all around the country, make them stronger. 6 years ago, if you'd asked me, 7 years ago, I was good at cleaning carpets. I was good at water damage and mold remediation. I was good at that, good at restoration. Wasn't quite my calling. Wasn't quite what I was meant to do. Now, some of you guys are still kind of fighting with that little itch in the back of your head, saying there's something else there. And it's just time to grab it and run with it and make it a reality. Now's the time. So get out and make it happen. The challenge for this month, find some experiences that you can mark off your list. If you haven't yet, go watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, or watch The Way with Martin Sheen. Spend your weekend looking at that. If you really want to feel, if some of your challenges you think are geared more towards the physical side and you need a little bit of motivation on that end, then go watch the movie about the Iron Cowboy. That's on Amazon. They're all there. Go out and pick something up. Create your list this month, a handful of challenges, something that you're going to do and make it happen, right? And see it through. Let's share some experiences with each other. Some of you guys are already starting to do it, and I love that. Keep it up. Make it real. On that note, go out, be awesome. I'm going to answer some questions here, but I'm going to wrap this up. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. If you don't want to hang out, rise from the ashes, fly like the phoenixes that you are. Love you.